I found the HOA illegally sold my 5,200-acre farm, so I legally sold their homes. For as long as anyone in my family could remember, our 5,200-acre ranch had been more than a piece of property. It was where generations had worked before sunrise, raised cattle, repaired fences, and built a life from the ground up. Every pasture, creek, and dirt road carried memories that couldn't be replaced. I believed the legal record protecting our land were just as solid as the fences surrounding it. That belief shattered the morning I received an unexpected phone call from the county assessor asking why I hadn't reported the subdivision sales happening on my own property. At first, I laughed, convinced they had confused my ranch with another parcel nearby. But the official on the other end insisted the record showed dozens of residential lots had already been sold from my land. The moment I arrived at the county office, I knew something was terribly wrong. A digital map displayed my ranch divided into neat streets, numbered lots, and construction zones. According to the county database, an entire neighborhood had been planned across land that my family had never sold. The deeper we looked, the worse it became. Official documents claimed ownership transfers had taken place years earlier, yet none of the signatures belonged to me or anyone in my family. Roads, utility easements, and property boundaries had somehow appeared inside public record without our knowledge. Whoever had done this hadn't made a simple mistake. Someone had carefully built an entire development, using land they never legally owned. Every clue pointed toward the local HOA. Its board had been advertising a luxury community expansion for years, proudly telling investors they controlled thousands of acres for future development. They held meetings, approved construction plans, and even collected fees from buyers who believed everything had been done legally. Watching those presentations made one thing painfully clear. They had built their success on property that was never theirs to sell. Instead of confronting them with anger, I hired an experienced property attorney. Together, we gathered every original deed, tax record, survey, and historical document connected to the ranch. Independent surveyors spent days walking the boundaries with modern GPS equipment, comparing every marker against records that stretched back decades. Every measurement confirmed the same truth. My family's ownership had never changed. The subdivision existed only because someone had manipulated paperwork. Curious to see the situation for myself, I drove through the neighborhood that bordered my ranch. Families were mowing their lawns, children rode bicycles down quiet streets, and neighbors greeted each other without realizing anything was wrong. It became obvious there were innocent buyers who had trusted the documents placed in front of them. My fight wasn't against those families. It was against the people who had created the deception. Once our evidence was complete, we filed a lawsuit backed by certified surveys, historical deeds, and county records. News spread quickly. And by the time the first hearing arrived, the courtroom was packed with reporters, homeowners, attorneys, and curious residents. The HOA board entered confidently, convinced their stack of paperwork would protect them. That confidence slowly faded as my attorney presented one original document after another, each proving the ranch had never legally left my family's ownership. The turning point came when a county mapping specialist testified. Digital record revealed exactly when property boundaries had been altered and when unauthorized changes had entered the system. Those edits had never followed the legal approval process. Suddenly, the subdivision maps the HOA relied upon no longer matched the official historical surveys. Even members of the HOA board began exchanging nervous looks. As the hearings continued, homeowners learned the full story for the first time. Many were shocked to discover they had unknowingly purchased homes connected to fraudulent land transactions. Rather than directing their frustration toward me, they began questioning the HOA leadership that had promised everything was legitimate. During one recess, Karen argued loudly with her own attorney while several board members avoided eye contact altogether. Outside the courthouse, reporters surrounded me with cameras, asking whether I wanted to remove families from their homes. I answered honestly. My goal had never been revenge or punishment. I wanted the law respected, my family's property rights restored, and innocent homeowners treated fairly. Accountability belonged with those who had created the fraudulent scheme, not with the people who trusted it. One final search inside the county archives uncovered original land patents and historical ownership records that erased any remaining doubt. After reviewing every certified document, survey, and expert report, the judge returned to the courtroom to deliver the decision. Silence filled the room as everyone stood waiting. The The court ruled that my family's ownership of the ranch had never legally changed. Every unauthorized subdivision created on my property was declared invalid. At the same time, the judge recognized that homeowners who purchase their properties in good faith deserve protection. Instead of creating unnecessary hardship, the court ordered a structured legal resolution that placed financial responsibilities squarely on the HOA and those responsible for the fraudulent sales. Over the following months, attorneys negotiated settlements while county officials supervised every step. Court-approved sales of HOA-owned assets helped satisfy the judgment, and compensation funds were established for affected homeowners. The process remained transparent, orderly, and entirely within the law. Karen's promises collapsed under the weight of the evidence, and the board that once celebrated its expansion quietly disappeared from public view. When everything was finally over, I rode across my ranch as the sun dipped below the horizon. Fresh survey markers stood where confusion had once existed, and every acre once again reflected the truth recorded in our family's original deeds. The land itself had never changed, only the paperwork surrounding it had. In the end, patience, careful preparation, and respect for the legal process accomplished what anger never could. The ranch remained exactly where it